Hi everyone, this is Phil Thornton, your superintendent. As you know, Hurricane Irene caused the cancellation of our orientation day. I did have something prepared for you for this day, so I thought I would take this opportunity to share it with you. I think now, more than ever, the pace at which education is moving can sometimes cause all of us to feel as if we are fixing the educational airplane while it's flying. I often think of this video when I think of our work.
Some people like to climb mountains. I like to build planes in the air. I grew up wanting to be on a wing, wanting to be up this high. Sometimes the temperature up at altitude will reach 60 below. It's brisk, it's refreshing. You never know what you're going to come across up here. Canadian geese, mallards, owls. These people back here, that's why I come to work. That's why I build airplanes in the sky.
We're not just building a plane here. We're building a dream.
I love this job. I do a lot of things up here. When I look over there and I see that little kid, the look in his eyes, that's all the things I need.
First, let me say welcome back. I'm really happy to be here, and I can't wait to get out and see you in your classrooms teaching. Remain calm, my first slide. I know right now a lot of things are coming at us. We have the Common Core, new teacher evaluation, race to the top. I want you to know we will get through all these things, and just keep doing the work you're doing, and we will work together on these key pieces. I thought in my PowerPoint today I'd talk to you about some key things on my mind. The first thing is collaboration. I'm a firm believer in this, in that in teaming we get more powerful results. I think in this, this cartoon certainly shows us sometimes, how we feel. We're in isolation in our own classrooms. What I would like to have us do is do more collaboration, and through doing this, I think we get more powerful results. And I look forward to talking to folks about assessment and practices and how we can get together and really advance teaching and learning. In terms of collaboration, things I'm looking at for this year, I want to talk to you about common planning by grade level and subject. I think in future years I'd like to see PD days over the course of the year. What if we had a PD day after each quarter? First quarter ends, then we have a PD day, second quarter, etc. I think in doing that we could have all of grade 2 together having a conversation, all of grade 6, all of the high school math department. I think in doing this you have some real powerful results. Curriculum coordinators by content area, K-8 science, I want to pursue these. Routine meetings with unions on progress in key issues. Routine meetings with principals. We have a protocol now where we're meeting twice a month with principals to talk about different conversations. Also, I like to engage the school committee in the work that we're doing around student achievement. In my work with you, I hope to pose 4 key questions to you all. Question 1, what do all students need to know and to be able to do? I think when we talk about that, we're talking about the Common Core in the curriculum. Question 2, how do we teach so that students will learn? Question 3, how will we know if they all learned it? I think that's the whole RTI conversation. And question 4, what will we do if they don't know or if they come to us already knowing? My next big idea for you, priority standards. Identifying what matters most in a grade level or content area. The rationale for focusing more on some standards over others is essentially that there are too many standards out there. And I think sometimes we all feel like we're slaves to the standards. If you look at Bob Marzano, he figured out we have 3,500 benchmarks, and we'd have to have kids in school until they're 22 to cover them all. You just can't do it. You have to get practical around what matters most. So I would like to have conversations with you all by department, by grade level, about what matters most and really focus on those things. Here's an example for you. Being a former history teacher, I would pose this to you. On the outside circle, things worth being familiar with. My example, the Civil War having key figures, battles, etc. Things more important, understanding the many causes of the Civil War. But to me, the enduring understanding would be the Civil War as a key element in shaping American culture today. I have a friend, I often tell folks, he teaches history in Atlanta, and down there it's called the War of the Northern Aggression. So the Civil War is not over. It's still going on, and to me that's an important understanding around the Civil War. So that's an example of looking at priorities. Once we agree on priorities, we have to agree on what is proficient. Every elementary school, all 5 of them, have to have a common strike zone of what is proficient. We have to have a common rubric across all the schools and every kind of writing. We must then publicly post this work. So I call that calibration. We get folks together, we talk about papers, we agree what a 3 is, what a 4 is, we then publish it for parents, students, and teachers. The link below, if you go there, you'll go to a site where I was last year where we did this work, and it gives you examples. This work is really exciting. I think it also gives teachers and parents and students a clear expectation around what we're trying to get to. The fancy word for this is inter-rater reliability. Basically, it means we know what proficient is, and it doesn't matter where you go to school, it's the same conversation. We need to measure progress. Lord Kelvin of the Kelvin scale says if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. I'm a firm believer in that. In terms of assessment, we need to have an assessment system in place where we can track student gains. And by a system, we need to have different levels of assessment. In this slide, I show you curriculum instruction and assessment. I believe most schools do a good job with the first 2, but I do believe sometimes after we teach something, we test it and then we move on. I think that's where I think schools and teachers and principals need some assistance, and that's going to be a focus of my work with you. I think assessment's not covered well in college. Think back to the class you had on assessment in college. You probably covered things like Z-score, T-score, bell curve. Those things to me aren't really helping so much in the classroom. Rich DuFour calls it, I teach, I test, I hope for the best. I think we have to focus more on the end in mind and really work back to that. I give you an example of Las Vegas, Nevada, a big district, certainly has their share of problems, low SES, etc. But this district, over a 3-year period, identified priority standards. They did ongoing PD on assessment, which we're starting here this fall, and they put in a formative assessment or pulse check system to really track student progress, and just real powerful stuff. So to me, I want to focus more on doing more pulse checks in the district, less autopsies. I want to focus on certainly NECAP, but understand this, NECAP is a test we give in the fall on prior year knowledge, and the results come out the following winter. Not very helpful for the students in the seat. We need a better system to chart progress while the kids are in the seats. In the end, it's called a balanced assessment system, so different levels of assessments to help you all measure progress. And it all starts with conversations in PD. The experts, Marzano, Stiggins, Black, Popham, Reeves, all these guys in the country that talk about assessment, they all agree on one thing. A number of short assessments given over time will provide a better indication of a student's learning than 1 or 2 large ones. And I've seen that happen, and I really believe that. As far as the research, there's something out there where they took 4,000 studies and did a meta-analysis, and they essentially say if you do this well, you can double the speed of student learning. So to me, that's really a transformative conversation to have in the district. Grading. I want to talk to you all about grading this year. I think we need to have a district-wide conversation over several months around how we grade and what we grade. I think historically, we don't really focus on that, and folks are left to their own designs. It really sometimes can matter who you get as far as how we grade. I have a whole conversation on this for you. This is just one example I can share with you now. We often rely on the average or the mean. But think back to your grade 6 math. We have mean, median, and mode. Experts now are saying we must get away from just using the average because it often can skew achievement. Here's one funny article from the Toronto Globe talking about someone who said, whenever I hear statistics being quoted, I'm reminded of the statistician who drowned while wading across a river in average depth of 3 feet. So just kind of, a little humor there. Here's an example. The median and the mean. If these are all grades for the same kind of assessment, and we're looking at the classic average, it's a 75. But to me, a more accurate measure of how we're doing is the median. He had 2 bad days here, but he knows the information. 89 is a better measure of his knowledge, not the mean. So I'd pose that for your thinking. Starting this year, I need to listen to all of you and hear where you've been. And that's important to me. So you'll see me a lot in classrooms, in hallways. I really have an open door policy and want to hear from you about what's working, what's not working. You'll also hear about me being in the community quite often, going to different PTOs or parts of town to talk to folks about these conversations. I'd like to close by just saying I'm also now on Twitter, and you'll see my Twitter link soon on the website. Please follow me, and also I welcome all of you to call my office or have me come in your classroom. Thank you.